So, for the last week and a half, I have had the crud, and even though I had a chance to go to my LCS and pick up my books, haven't had the energy to share until now. Hey, this is James for Read More Comics. As I shared, I've had the crud the last week and a half, and finally I'm on the downward end of it. Have a stack of books, which honestly the last couple weeks have been kind of light, but I want to share what I got. Before we get to it, if you like my content, please do like, share, subscribe, hit the bell up in the corner, leave a comment down below. Tell me what you think about my books. So this is the culmination of 2 weeks, as I shared. I went to my LCS both weeks. My LCS is Buy Me Toys in beautiful Mishawaka, Indiana. And let's get into what we have. First up, we got, and I want to qualify this. This is all alphabetical order. I can't tell you what I got last week, what I got this week. Okay? So, first up, we have Absolute Superman, issue number 18. This is the variant cover by Gerard Perel, which I've been getting the last couple months. He has just been really kind of capturing the Absolute Superman, I think. Let's check that out. And I finally got caught up reading this. This is, I think this issue is the beginning of the next arc. We had an interlude, a two-issue interlude with Absolute Hawkman, which kind of asked more questions than answered, which I think is pretty cool. You know, they were kind of seeding the ground with this character. He comes across as being hardcore, but then you get the feeling that maybe there's something more going on. And we also saw Absolute Parasite in issue number 17, which a lot of body horror with that one. So I've noticed lately that's been kind of the trend in the big two, get more body horror in their comic books. Anyway, this is supposed to be the introduction, the real introduction of the villain, I think, that's going to be Absolute Lex Luthor. I think the last issue kind of gave some background into his origin, or his origin story to becoming a bad guy. And Absolute Brainiac was off the wall in that. Highly recommend if you haven't been reading this. Out of the Absolute Trinity, I think this is the kind of lowest key out of the three. It's been a really slow burn, but I like what Jason Aaron's been doing. Then we have Batman issue number 8 by Matt Fraction. And this is a Jorge Jimenez cover, though it doesn't look like he's doing the internals. I think this is Ryan Sook right here. And I don't know, I get kind of Sean Murphy vibes, you know, from Batman White Knight off the cover. Check that out. So we have Poison Ivy as mayor of Gotham City now, and we've had for some time Vandal Savage as the police commissioner. So this has been, and over on the Off Panel podcast, David Harper mentions that this is kind of his favorite DC book going on right now, and I kind of have to agree. I love the Absolute books, love Wonder Woman that Tom King's coming out, a lot of other really good stories. But this has been kind of this low-key simmer in the background that if you haven't been paying attention to, Matt Fraction's telling an awesome Batman story. It's easy to get into. We're only on issue number 8, so we're talking a trade in a couple issues. And unlike the Absolute books, if you wanted the individual issues, you probably could get them. I've been going for the A covers. I've mentioned this many times because I'm noticing there's a trend. The A covers are the ones that hold long-term value. Though the B covers, C covers, the variant covers have been really cool for this. So really enjoying this. And what's cool is in Poison Ivy by G. Willow Wilson, that's where Pamela Isley became Gotham mayor. So we're seeing kind of like a little mini crossover. I think it's cool that they're just acknowledging kind of a common canon, I guess, that you can have something happen over here that's affecting a book over here without like going really deep into it. I think that's kind of cool because in Poison Ivy's book, we're also seeing Vandal Savage as police commissioner kind of hunting her down. And so it's been kind of nice to have that interrelation between different creative teams and different titles without having to go bonkers with it. We have, now it's Emperor Aquaman, Aquaman issue number 16. Kind of fun little tag on the front. We're going to need a bigger comic book. Nice sharks right there. Okay. This has been Jeremy Adams and Josh Timms, I think. Anyway, I really have been enjoying the entire run by Jeremy Adams. What I enjoyed was the investment in not focusing on the politics of Aquaman being a leader. And I'm hopeful with this shift, it's supposed to be in space now or something like that, with Aquaman being Avatar of the Blue. We don't get too much in the weeds with that, because I think that's where other creative teams, the last couple of volumes have really floundered, is, who is Aquaman? How can we make him a superhero and have all this kind of backstory and have characters in his life like Mira and his daughter and Atlantis without making it too much? So we'll see. Sorry, I've had the crud. Then we have The End 2099. This is the Lead Kilo variant, issue number 5. Gonna be honest, I'm only picking up this book for Silver Surfer 2099. I love the concept. The last few little mini series that they've done, and this has all been written by Steve Orlando, that Marvel has done. This is like the third miniseries. There was one where Absolute Dracula took over the universe or something like that, and then there was all these individual issues introducing Silver Surfer 29, Absolute Dracula, a bunch of other characters, and I kind of like those. It made me enjoy the theme that was being creative. It's not bogged down by a lot of other canon, decades worth of story. I'm touchingly familiar of who Spider-Man 2099 is, honestly, because of Miles Morales, Into the Spider-Verse. That's about it. So this has been kind of refreshing and kind of a fun little interlude. Have not read any of these. This is in my backlog, which at some point I need to kind of share how both being sick the last week and a half is giving me a lot of read time. But it's also the system I put in place to read my read pile. Sorry for the redundancy there. It's paid off. So this will be on top of the list shortly. We have a couple G.I. Joe books. We have G.I. Joe 327. This is a real American hero. This is not inside the Energon universe at all. It's not related at all. This is Larry Hama continuing his IDW run, which is a continuation, from what I understand, from his original Marvel days run. So this has just been kind of fun. It's totally a nostalgia itch. I was in Gen Xer, grew up watching G.I. Joe, playing with G.I. Joes. I wish they had, every issue has stuff going on, which on the one hand, they're constantly moving the story, but there's constantly something going on. They got a day where they just go to the chow hall, or, they have a day where, I don't know, Roadblock decides to go visit his sister, or, something benign instead of always plot. But I'm still pulling it because I'm still digging it. And then, we have 3 G.I. Joe books. We have, these are connected to, so for those of you that don't know, connect back to Larry Hama. First appearance of Snake Eyes was the Silent Mission. I think that's what it was called. Totally, there was no dialogue in it. Awesome book. I have the reprint that Image put out, Skybound put out. And so Skybound has been putting out some other Silent Mission books. They did some G.I. Joe books. Now we're doing some Cobra books, which I thought was a cool idea. So I'm pulling these because it's kind of a one and done. We have one with the Baroness by Jolie Jones. Ooh, Declan Shelby, Mike Spicer. Those names, right? And then this one is Gabriel Hardman. I don't know. Matt Hollingsworth, though, I've heard of before. This is Crimson Guard, which I read a review of this and said that it was really good. Then we have Poison Ivy, issue number 43. This is the Manny Vincent Carbonelli cover. Very cool. So I'm caught up with this also, that Poison Ivy is now mayor of Gotham and is trying to push her kind of green agenda, no pun intended there, with a bunch of villains. I've enjoyed this ride. I highly recommend it. I mean, this is issue number 43. Who would have thought Poison Ivy would have 43 issues? Where it kind of wax and wanes, where I'm kind of like, is Poison Ivy just a misunderstood character? Like, she just misunderstood, she's trying to do the right thing, or is she totally a sociopath? And I think she really is a sociopath who tries to do right things. It's kind of a combination of both. So anyway, this has been a good read. This is a reprint. I missed out on this a couple weeks ago, and I saw it on the shelf at my LCS as I was browsing, and I went, wait a minute. This is a way to meet kind of a long-term collecting goal, at least for now, with some placeholders. So we have a facsimile edition of the Silver Surfer issue number 1. Okay, a little pricey, $6.99, but I'll be sharing another video over the weekend. I went comic book hunting and I saw like a mid-grade original first print. It was like $200, and I'm going like, you know, in the long term, I'd love to have volume 1 of Silver Surfer. He's one of my favorite Marvel characters, but right now I can read this and I can get each individual issue. I'm presuming they're going to turn out with all 18, and these will be placeholders, and when I pick them up in whatever condition, I can just pull the placeholder out. So we have a couple more things. We have Savage Sword of Conan. This is issue number 13. This is Alex Horley. Okay, so in this one, this was advertised, I think last month. Roy Thomas is writing a story in here, and Roberto de la Torre is doing the art. And Roberto de la Torre, in my opinion, captures the kind of Ernie Chan, Sal Buscema, Conan the Barbarian more than any other modern artist. Okay, he gets that energy, kind of the dark lines and everything like that. Very minimalistic look. Definitely recommend this if you want to like dip your toe into Conan the Barbarian. It's an anthology book. You don't have to read any other Conan. It's just kind of fun, and it's one of the things that I like about this. It comes in newsprint, similar to the back in the day Marvel Savage Sword did. It is for a more mature reader. Okay, you just want to be aware of that there is, it's not inappropriate art for an adult audience, but it's definitely harking back to the Robert E. Howard Conan the Barbarian stories. I have a trade that I pre-ordered. This is Everything Dead and Dying. This is the Image title. It's a 5-issue series, and I remember reading the solicit for this when it came out. Basically, zombie apocalypse. This farmer is surviving on his farm. His spouse is a zombie. I think his adopted daughter. They're both zombies, and chooses to live his life with them because they mean so much to him. I thought it was a cool concept, and you can get the whole story in just one trade. So looking forward to reading that. And I picked up some more comic dividers. These are cheaper at my LCS than Amazon. Let's see, this is $18.99. The black ones they were having were even cheaper than that. I think it was like 16 or something like that. So I picked up that. Is there anything else going on? I think that's it. So if you enjoyed listening to me ramble on, share all the books I picked up the last couple weeks, let me know. Drop a comment, hit the like button, hit the bell in the corner so you get notifications. I appreciate you hanging in all the way to the end. Life is so much better when we read more comics.